Hi there. I invited Christine Atkinson with Columbine Mortgage to join me today. I thought we'd start off with a third quarter update and then go from there. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Great. So you may be scratching your head, wondering what the heck is going on in our real estate market. And maybe you are, maybe you're not. But one thing's for sure, our Denver real estate market is dynamic. And while we are shifting towards a balanced market, we are not quite there yet. So here are the high points. Inventory is increasing. Interest rates are increasing. But year over year appreciation is still positive. So let's look at a little more detail. While inventory is increasing, we are still in what is considered a seller's market with about 1.8 months of inventory available, which is pretty average for this time of year in the fall. We would still need about 3 times the amount of inventory to get to a balanced market. So while inventory is becoming more available, sellers are definitely competing for your buyer's attention. So home prices are down from our peak time earlier in this year, but they are still appreciating about year over year, about 9%. And it's predicted as we move forward that we'll still have positive appreciation. Increasing interest rates, which I'm sure has been fun, has certainly made buyers take a pause or even leave the market entirely. So thereby decreasing demand for these properties, which makes it a little bit easier for some of our buyers. It may be difficult to face 7% interest rate, but here's a couple things to think about. So if you lock in an interest rate today versus a rental rate, which could still go up, you are locked in. So if rates go up, great. If they happen to go down in the future, then you can refinance at a later date. And something else to keep in mind is with less demand in our market because of the interest rate, a house you would have been purchasing in the spring that was listed for $550,000 and sold for $700,000, now you may be able to purchase at list price or even below. So it's projected that rates will come down a bit. Not quite sure when that may happen, if it's going to be in the springtime or not. But if that happens, then we'll see some greater demand again in the spring and summer of next year. So big picture, I think in the period of adjustment, there certainly are incredible opportunities for buyers to still purchase a home. And I'd love Christine to share one of those opportunities with you now.
One of the opportunities is to ask the seller to provide concessions to be used towards a temporary rate buy-down program. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of these out here right now. There's a 2-1 buy-down where your interest rate is lowered by 2% for the first year and then 1% for the second year. That's a pretty substantial payment difference. And then the other one is a 1-0 buy-down where the interest rate goes down for 1 year and then back to the note rate in the second year and beyond. It's nice to have options because for the seller, the cost is a fair amount greater for the 2-1 versus the 1-0. So depending on the competition you're facing, you can pick either one. Exactly. Yeah. What happens with this is, in essence, the seller is providing funds that the lender puts in an escrow account. Okay. And then draws from the escrow account with your lower mortgage payment to make up the full note rate payment. So the full payment is being made during the time period. Hopefully you'll be able to refinance sometime in that 2 years or 1 year as it may be. But if you don't, you're still gaining the benefit of the full seller concession right up front. Mm-hmm. If you do refinance during that period, the great news is you don't lose that money. It gets applied to your loan balance. Okay. And so your payoff is actually lower. So you're not leaving anything on the table. Mm-hmm. Let's take an example. So if you had a $600,000 house that was maybe sitting there a little bit and you thought, I could offer $580,000 and get that house. You have kind of 2 choices. You can offer $580,000 or you could offer the $600,000 with a $20,000 seller concession. Okay. For the buyer, if we go in with the $580,000 purchase price, that's going to lower your monthly payment about $100 a month. But the benefit is seen throughout the life of the loan, so over 30 years. If you instead offer the $600,000 with a $20,000 seller concession and use one of these temporary rate buy-down programs, it's going to bring the benefit forward. With a 2% interest rate decline, your payment is down over $600 a month for a year, and then about half of that for the second year when it inclines another percent. So you're really drawing the benefit forward into this time period while we're kind of waiting for a refinance to happen.
That gives you a little bit more time to get used to that monthly payment.
Absolutely.
If rates stay the same or go up, then you're locked in at that current.
You are locked in, and frankly, you're kind of happy if rates go up that you did this when you did.
Right. So I don't know about you, but one question I always get is, when is a good time to buy? And my answer always is whenever you're ready, right? It has to make sense for that individual person. People are always trying to time the market.
Yes.
Sometimes
and the
that
rates.
is just not possible at all. Waiting could certainly cost you, whether that's a higher interest rate or higher purchase price, because as I mentioned, appreciation is still positive in our Denver metro area. No matter what, I think if you find the home you love, Christine and I are always here to support you and making the best financial decision. Every buyer and seller is very unique and individual, which is what I love about this business. So we would love it if you have more questions or want to do your own evaluation. Reach out to us. We'd love to schedule a personalized Zoom meeting with you when you're ready.